I'm not sure why you clicked on this video, and I don't know your story. Maybe you too grew up without a parent, or maybe you grew up with toxic parents, or maybe you're just interested in my story. Either way, I'm going to offer you the very best perspective that I can from my lessons that I learned from my experience of growing up without a father to give you a new, fresh mindset shift so that you can look at every hardship as a gift. If that sounds good, then let's jump in. Achievers, welcome back. My name is Joshua Angel. For those of you who are new here, this is Project Dream and Achieve It, where we give you a new take on the 1% Club. If you're interested in the most practical, simple tips that you can implement right now today to achieve any goal that you desire, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so that you can become a part of that achieving family, so you're notified every single Monday when I drop new, fresh content to set you up for your week. Enough of that, let's get in the video. I want to preface this video by saying, dude, I still struggle with not having my father growing up. I've had to overcome a lot of emotional barriers and acceptance issues because of it. But recently I've been looking at life through two different perspectives. The first one is that everything happens in life for me and not to me. And secondly is that everything happens because of me. Everything is my fault, good or bad. I can't control my father's actions, but I can certainly control my own actions and my reaction to his. And so with that in mind, the very first thing that I want to share with you today is that my father bailing on me at 18 months old happened for me and not to me. And this is the very same way that you have to look at it. You know, if a parent bailed on you, dude, or if they were incarcerated, or if they passed away, whether from natural causes or maybe suicide or drugs or, you know, something like that, then you have to look at it from this perspective. The reason being is because now you're no longer a victim. You actually accept responsibility for the circumstances in your life, whether they're truly your fault or not, but that way you can actually take ownership of the situation and do your best to manage it and control it. Going back to the scenario that, you know, maybe you didn't grow up without a parent, or maybe they were incarcerated, or they passed away, or maybe they were just really toxic and they made life very difficult for you growing up. In all of those scenarios, I guarantee that if you just took a moment, remove yourself from the situation emotionally, you would actually find a lot of good in that situation. You see, when you approach life with the mindset that life happens for you and not to you, you're no longer a victim to your circumstances. You are able to see the good in every situation. And even if you don't understand the wisdom right there, and you don't see the good in it initially, you can know with certainty in your heart that one day that answer will become clear. Couple that with the mentality that everything is your fault, and again, you're taking ownership of everything in your life, and you're able to regain that power and that control, which is actually going to lead you to take action. Action to change any situation that you don't like. Positive takeaway number 2 that you can appreciate from my story is it taught me how to treat people. You see, folks, you got two options in life. The first one is that you take the bitterness that life dishes out to us all, and you just unload it on everyone around you. Or you can use that same energy and use it as a moral compass to guide your everyday actions. Folks, the underlying theme here, as retired Navy SEAL Commander Jocko Willink would call it, is extreme ownership. For me, I never wanted to make another human being feel the way my father did to me. Because of that fact, I make sure I make a conscious decision every single day to treat people with love, respect, and to make them feel important. If someone has wronged you, forgive, but never forget. Resentment is an anchor that only pulls you down. You ever thought about an anchor before? It may only weigh a couple hundred pounds, dude, and yet it's able to prevent a giant ship from moving forward. I mean, have you ever seen an anchor that's bigger than a boat? I know I haven't. Well, that's the same thing when it comes to the actions and pain that you've felt. You're bigger than that pain, and you need to let that anchor loose so that you can get the wind back in your sails. Forgive that individual, even if it means just a silent thought in your heart, but never forget. And what I mean by that is, don't forget the pain that it caused you so that you don't cause that same pain to someone else. If you had a great childhood, then hopefully you can appreciate it that much more. Achievers, you know what time it is. It's time to give our weekly shout out to one of you, Bad Mama Jammas. If you're new here, we here at Project Dream and Achieve It absolutely love giving a shout out to one of you from the Achieving family. If you're new here, dude, and you want to get a shout out in one of our weekly videos, it's super simple, dude. You got to do two things. First one is that you have to comment down below with your biggest takeaway from today's video with the hashtag Achieving Dreams, followed by tagging us on Project Dream and Achieve It, Instagram, up there. And again, use the hashtag Achieving Dreams with proof of the takeaway that you posted in the comments. It's that simple, dude. You do that and you inspire us all, and I'll be more than happy to give you a shout out. Today I gotta give a shout out to the man, the myth, the 1440 legend. Nah, not that legend. Mr. Steve Ray! There's a reason why I'm yelling, and you're about to find out why. For sure, Steve has got to be one of the nicest, kindest dudes I've ever met. That is unless you get him around heavy objects. Then he kind of turns into this. Steve made an incredible transformation, y'all. This used to be Steve right here. Wait till you see what he's done, dude. I mean, this guy, man, he made a decision to change his life forever, and this is Steve today. I mean, bravo, dude. Bravo, man. I mean, Steve, you're the man, dude. This guy, he's even more jacked than what he looks like in the picture. When I approached Steve to ask him if he'd be okay with me giving him a shout out on my channel because he's always inspiring me in the gym, he had mentioned that when he decided to actually care for his health, it inspired him and his wife to go from $100,000 in debt to being debt free within 1 year. If that meant that they had to both take on a second job, then that's what they're committed to do. And I love that mentality. I love that zero option mentality, that my back's against the wall and I'm gonna make this happen no matter what. This dude is definitely achieving family material, and someone that I personally believe really represents this community so well. Do me a solid and check out Steve on his Instagram. He's starting it. He's, blow it up for me, please, y'all. Give this guy some loving. Give him, some really solid support, and tell him that I sent you. Thank you, Steve, for always yelling at the weights at 5 o'clock in the morning, just in case someone forgot to take the pre-workout. Here's to you, man. If you want to learn how to set and achieve goals and have amazing transformations just like Steve, then go ahead and check out this playlist here. The third benefit from growing up without a parent or having toxic parents is it teaches you adversity early on in life. Whether you like to admit it or not, the happiest moments in your life, if you really think about it, probably came from when you handled a challenge that you thought you couldn't deal with, when you actually overcame adversity. The challenge itself isn't what brings you happiness, but it's the ability to prove to yourself that you have the power, dude. You got the strength to overcome adversity and to beat any challenge that's in your way. And it gives you a sense of self-confidence that, as David Goggins calls it in his amazing book, Can't Hurt Me, you're putting a cookie in your cookie jar. It's a reminder to you that, hey, when you have a new challenge that you have to face, that, hey man, I've faced many challenges in the past. Not only did they not break me, but I actually came out on top. And you think to yourself, there is no way that I'm fitting to break my winning streak today, son.
Not today.
And hey, if you actually struggle with overcoming resistance and when you're pushing towards your goals, then check out this video right here. I give you the exact tips and strategies that you need. They're easy, dude. They're super simple to get you through that resistance and achieve your goals every time. Also, dude, if you have not read Can't Hurt Me yet, then do yourself a favor and get yourself a copy. I prefer the audiobook. In fact, I've listened to it 4 times already. And if it's something that you're interested in, there will be a link down in the description below. Just a fair warning, there is some strong language, but if you can get past that, there's a lot of wisdom in that book. Achievers, let me know if this is making sense to you and if you're getting value by leaving a comment down below with the hashtag Achieving Dreams. Thank you so much. The last and final tip that I'd like to share with y'all today, from my experience of growing up without a father, is it taught me how to be resourceful and to figure things out. I was recently listening to a podcast from Andy Frisella, and he talked about how one of the best things that ever happened to him is that when he had no cash, no connections, basically no resources, when he started his now 9-figure company, that he had to be resourceful. The same thing happened to me. Because I didn't have my father growing up, I had no one to show me how to be a man, let alone how to be a father. And I found it really difficult trying to figure out how to be a dad, how to be a good dad. And obviously these previous lessons that I mentioned in the video have helped me along the way, because sometimes knowing what not to do is actually almost better than knowing what to do. Another resource that I've been using lately is called the Good Dad Project podcast, and the founder, Larry Hagner, has an eerily similar story to me, and the first time I heard him tell it, I felt like an instant connection to this dude. His podcast is what you would expect it to be about, how to be a good dad, and the lessons that he's learned and is continually learning, and how he's trying to be a good dad. If you want to check out his podcast, there will be a link in the description below. So to reiterate, the 4 lessons that I learned from my experience of growing up with a father is, look at your life as if it's happening for you and not to you. Number 2 is that realize that if you're at the age of reason, everything is your fault, good, bad, or indifferent, and that's the only way that you can actually change things in your life. Once you accept that everything is your fault, you're now able to take control back, take the power back, take responsibility, and change anything that you don't like. Number 3 is that life is going to constantly throw you curveballs, and it's up to you to handle adversity with a smile rather than letting it hammer you down like waves on rocks. And lastly is to learn to be resourceful. Think on your feet and figure things out. I love the saying that everything is figure-outable, and if you agree, then let me know down in the comments below. If you found value in this content, then be sure to give it a like because it really helps the channel and allows more people to benefit. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you turn on that notifications bell so that you're notified every single Monday when I drop fresh new content to set you up for your week. Be sure to follow us over on Instagram, connect with us on Instagram, and hey, tag us with achieving dreams to show us that you're getting after it as well. That's it for me. I'm Joshua Angel. This is Project Dream and Achieve It, where we give you a new take on the 1% Club and remind you every single week that you too can be a part of that exclusive, elusive 1% Club if you only commit to being 1% better today. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Be great. Take care.